A warm welcome to the session on practice maintenance of carbon brushes, brush holders, commutators.
At the end of this session, you will be able to interpret the nameplate details of the DC machine, inspect the DC machine and pre-test it to locate the fault, dismantle the DC machine and overhaul it, maintain and service the parts of the DC machine like carbon brushes, brush holders, commutator, reassemble and test the DC machines, troubleshoot the DC machine. Information on the specified DC motor's nameplate and note down. Observe the DC motor visually, such as rotation of the shaft, symptom of burns, burning smell, damaged parts, loose connection, and then record the observation in the table. Rotation of the shaft noticed as free. Symptoms of burn noticed at armature, field, commutator, brush, terminal block. No symptoms of burn noticed. Burning smell noticed at armature, field, commutator, brush, terminal block. No burning smell noticed. Damaged parts. No damaged parts noticed. If loose connection noticed, tighten the connection. Perform the insulation test, resistance test and continuity test. Insulation test.
In this test, carried out by Megger, for insulation test, put the test probes between each terminal in the terminal box and frame as shown in the picture.
Resistance test. Attaching the ohm meter test leads to two neighboring commutator bars to know whether short or open circuits.
If short circuit is there, the motor shows low resistance. In case of open circuit, the motor shows high resistance. Briefly, short circuit will cause low resistance and open circuit will cause high resistance.
Continuity test. By using ohm meter, connect the test probes to the field coil terminals and observe if the continuity is there or not. By using ohm meter, connect the test probes to the field coil terminals.
The field coil resistance shown in the ohm meter is high, infinity or no reading. Assume that the field coil is open circuited. If the ohm meter shows low resistance of the field coil, it has continuity and it is assumed that the field coil is healthy.
Service the parts of DC machine. Commutator. Let us know how to service the parts of DC machine, that is commutator. To know for an earth defect, connect one lead of the shaft and another lead to the commutator bar of the Megger. If insulation is good between them, the meter reads high resistance. So, it is assumed to be in good condition as shown in picture. Checking of the commutator for raised mica insulation. If mica insulation is raised, undercut mica insulation with undercutting tool. Now, we are going to service the commutator for pittings, ridges and higher bars as shown in the picture. The higher bars are removed by skinning the commutator by turning in lathe machine. Before skinning the shaft, confirm that the shaft center is in the actual commutator center. It can be checked by using dial test indicator as shown in the picture. After mounting the armature in lathe machine, rotate the armature slowly and remove the small amount of copper possible in the commutator's surface until the higher bars, ridges and pittings are in equal surface level. After making to equal surface level of the commutator, for fine smoothing, use sandpaper and clean it. The razors of commutator connections can be resoldered at different locations if necessary. After servicing the above all procedures, finally, the armature must be cleaned using the solvent carbon tetrachloride CTC to remove the dust, grease and carbon powder collection from the brush holder and service the parts of DC machine carbon brush. While inserting the new carbon brush in the brush holder, if it is not freely sliding in the brush holder, remove the carbon material by using smooth flat file. To get the proper shape of the carbon brush, at the end of the commutator curvature side, with the help of rough surface glass paper tapped around the commutator and light pressure applied to the brush. Put the brush together in the brush holder and set the distance of 1.5 mm between the brush holder and commutator surface. Service the parts of DC machine brush holder. To prevent sparking between carbon brush and commutator surface, the spring tension can be adjusted. The spring tension can be measured by using pressure indicator as shown in the picture. Arbor press is used to push the bearing on the shaft for reinstalling or new bearing. By using arbor press to the inner ring of the bearing with a tube and a plate, the bearing moves inside until the marked position. This procedure is applied to reinstall the bearings. Recap. We have now learnt how to interpret the nameplate details of the DC machine, inspect the DC machine and pre-test it to locate the fault, dismantle the DC machine and overhaul it, maintain and service the parts of DC machine like carbon brushes, brush holders and commutator, reassemble and test the DC machines, troubleshoot the DC machine.
We have now understood practice maintenance of carbon brushes, brush holders, commutators. See you all in the next session with a new concept.